Hey guys, welcome to today's market review session with us at EasyFX Academy. And straight away, let's just go into what we have, what we expect to happen in the course of the coming week. All right, so that we'll be able to take up trades. All right, that would make us profitable. All right, so that's the essence of us having these sessions. All right, so first off, let's look at DXY. You'll notice that, which is the US dollar index anyway. You'll notice that during the course of last week, we had some level of uncertainty even on the chart. All right, which was caused by some of the happenings that have been going on. All right, presidential elections and campaigns and whatnot. All right, so currently this is what I'm expecting on DXY. All right, I think this coming Friday we're going to be having the NFP release also. All right, so do well to join us as we trade out live. That being said, I think we kind of expect price to still push up. All right, into this zone. Now this is a zone on the daily. All right, but let me just give you the coordinate between 104.806 and 105.210. All right, again, I'll give you the coordinates between 104.806 and 105.210 is my zone. All right, quite large, yes, I know. All right, but my bias on DXY would still be overall bearish. All right, so I just want to watch out for us to possibly get price to buy up into the zone. Then we get to see that sell reaction. All right, on DXY during the course of the week. All right, so that is clear. I don't want to take too much time on our indices. All right, but let's quickly go on our GBP, sorry, BXY, the Great British Pound, currency index. All right, so I'm expecting BXY to still drop. All right, so this zone, this is between 128.34 and 127.94. All right, so my bias currently is, as you can see here, we have a fair bit of a fair value gap, a fair bit of a fair value gap. Don't worry. Or I have a fair value gap left behind here, and I want to see the possibility of price, coming to fill that up, and then we get to see, maybe just a little buy, all right, from there. So it's a sort of sell to buy to sell, sort of scenario on BXY. So I just want to see BXY drop into the zone again between 128.34 and 127.94, and then we get to see our buy, and then the possibility of us having a sell overall is still quite strong, right? I think overall we can still see some level of bearishness, especially on this um, commodity on BXY. All right, so that's what I have for BXY. Quickly, let's look at AXY, the Australian dollar currency index. And I think I'm just watching out for this area, right? Why, you might ask, like, why am I watching out for this area? Consider currently this is my POI that I have marked out here. Between 64.40 and 63.89 is actually a place where we've gotten a reaction from before. All right. So currently what I'm just expecting is that that zone would still hold. All right. We have had a fair bit of reactions in that zone. I'm still watching out for the possibility of us having that zone still hold. All right, now because this is an index, all right, you get to see some very very weird looking candles or some very very weird looking movements. You get to see a lot of gaps, all right, in the market. So all that being said, I'm just watching out for price to either come. Okay, that's true. For price to either come here, this is around 64.72, right? We could get a buy, from somewhere around there. Let me just make that be clear. We could get a buy from somewhere around there, or we get to see price go as far back as this zone, or between 64.40 and 63.89, and then we get to see our buy from there. All right, so I hope that is clear. Like I said, I really don't want to take too much time on the indices. Let's go up for CXY next. All right, so for CXY, I have something similar. We're going to see that price has come towards this low around this low around 72.22. All right, and it's currently acting like as a form of support. We've not seen price break below it conveniently yet. What that means is that I'm not seeing price break below it with a bodied candle. All right, so just see weeks and weeks. All right, so I want to watch out for that to happen during the course of the week. All right, well, preferably I think we might get to see this zone, this support hold a little bit. All right, then we get to see a short buy before we continue bearish overall on CXY. All right, so I hope that is clear as to what I'm looking out for exactly on CXY. So just a buy to sell on CXY basically. All right, so last but not the least on our currency on our index list, all right, is JPY basket. And I think for JPY basket, we can watch out for JPY basket to become bearish or to continue bearish. All right, this is I think this is a supply zone I marked out probably from the daily time frame. Give me a minute to confirm that. Yes. All right. So currently we have seen price get there. Right. Price looks to have swept that zone by just a little bit, and we've seen that price also on a daily time frame created a very strong rejection candle. All right, which tells me that there's every possibility for us to watch out for JPY basket to now continue bearish. All right, so I want to watch out for that happening. As far as we don't get to see this zone broken, I think that bias would still be valid. All right, so my invalidation for that bias would be for that zone to get broken, all right, between 6330 and 6230. Again, between 6330 and 6230. That is the coordinate, or those are the coordinates rather, for the zone. All right, so let's just watch out for Gbpcad 2 BPRs. All right, so quickly let's go into the commodities that we have for today, and pairs we have for today, and just exactly look at it together. What exactly are we expecting to happen on gold? All right, so we're on gold first off. And I think for gold, I have this area that I'm watching out for. Right, I purposely didn't mark it using the rectangle tool. All right, this between 2407.97 and 2432.50. All right, again between 2407.97 and 2432.50. That is the long large zone I'm watching out for to act as a supply zone, all right, on gold. That means what I'm expecting right now is for gold to still buy up a bit, clear out liquidity from this left behind imbalances, come up into that zone, and then we get to see our sell. All right, so that's what I'm watching out for to happen on gold during the course of the week. Again, the coordinates for that zone are between 2407.97 and 2432.50. Now, for those of us who are not necessarily trading very, very large accounts, all right, I think what you can do for this trade is to look out for lower time frame entries or lower time frame confirmations, or possibly on 1 hour, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, possibly. All right, so just look out for whatever your confirmations will be before taking this sell specifically. All right, make sure you watch out for your own lower time frame confirmations or lower time frame entries before taking this, all right, because this is a very large zone, and for smaller accounts it will make sense for you to just, as it was, risk it all. All right, they say go out or go home, all right, but I don't want you to go home. That type of thing. All right, so let's just watch out for this to happen on gold. All right, so next up, let's look at GU. Let's look at GBPUSD next. Yeah, so for GBPUSD, I think something fairly similar. All right, I have this FVG marked out here, which I'm expecting to work out as my demand zone between 1.28344 and 1.28079. I'll come again between 1.28344 and 1.28079. That's what I'm watching out for. Possibly that buy to happen from on GBPUSD. That will be invalidated if I get to see that broken, and then I'm watching out for this. All right, this is between 1.27157 and 1.26628. Again, 1.27157 and 1.26628. All right, that will be where I'm watching out for. That will be my second demand zone that I'm watching out for on GBPUSD. All right, though I still believe that this could and should hold up. All right, but I just want to be very, very watchful for such possibilities of us getting to see price break even below this point. All right, so to make to break below this previous low around here, this is around 1.27806, and then we get to see price drop before we get to see a substantial buy, so to speak. All right, so that's what I'm watching out for to currently happen on GBP USD. Let's quickly go on. Let's look at Gbpcad next. All right, Gbpcad, and I think for Gbpcad, my current outlook is fairly complex. All right, I feel like this is quite complex. So let's go up to the daily time frame. Let me do my best to break it down as to what I'm watching out for on Gbpcad right now. All right, so currently we are seeing that Gbpcad has broken this previous high here and it has made a new high, and now we've seen that. All right, so we've seen a sort of conformancy here to the to this trend line, and we'll see that this trend line currently is acting as support around this area. All right, so what I want to watch out for is for price to possibly break below that trend line, sweep liquidity from this low. All right, sweep liquidity from somewhere around here. Let me just or just sweep that low. All right, then we get to see price push down, clear up more liquidity from the fair value gaps left behind, and then most likely use this last fair value gap here as its demand zone, and then we get our buy from. All right, which will also translate. Let me go down to the 4-hour time frame. All right, so that will be able to show us this. All right, so I'm basically using the order flow from way, not too way behind, all right, but somewhere around there. All right, and that also coincides with the fact that I'm watching out for price to fill up that fair value gap that we saw on the daily time frame, and then use the second fair value gap as the demand zone. All right, so something like this. Just zoom in on that. So clear up liquidity from here, come down into this, and then we get our buy to happen on Gbpcad. All right, so that'll be my bias on Gbpcad. So I want to watch out for a break and retest of this trend line. All right, so if you get to see your entry criteria, all right, for you to enter for this break and retest, all right, maybe on lower time frames again, you can just go all in, all right, and then you should be able to pick up some sales at least up to this zone. All right, so this is between 1.76120 and 1.75116. All right, so you can just take up your sales at least maybe up to that 1.76120. All right, so you should be able to make up like a 1:2, 1:3, maybe even a 1:5 trade. All right, from this entry for the short or for the sales. All right, so on Gbpcad. So overall, I'm watching out for a sell to buy scenario during the course of the week on Gbpcad. I think I spent a lot of time explaining that. So let's just quickly go on. All right, so what we have for GBP/AUD. I think I have something similar also on GBP/AUD. Currently, I have my demand zone to watch out for around 1.93792 and 1.93143. I'll come again between 1.93792 and 1.93143 is my go-to POI or demand zone. So I want to watch out for price to still push down, a little bit into that zone, and then we get to see our buys happen from there. Let me show you something. Okay, I think I'll have to go back to the daily time frame for this. All right, currently there is a supply zone I'm watching out for that's still it's just a little bit above where the previous high that my price just made. All right, this supply zone to be specific. Yes, all right. So this is between 1.98533 and 1.97789. I'll come again between 1.98533 and 1.97789. All right. So that's my supply zone I'm majorly watching out for. You can see that price almost got there. All right. So but I don't want to just assume that that zone won't be able to work anymore. So I just want to watch out for this sell to buy scenario on GBP/AUD, and then possibly we get to see that very, very nice sell off where we get to see price come up into that supply zone that we marked out earlier. All right, so I would like to clear for GBP/AUD. Next up, let's look at USD CHF. And I think straightforward, not straightforward basic, but still, what we have on USD CHF is quite, straightforward. That's what I'm trying to say here. All right, so simple, straight, short, and simple. Supply zone between 0.89258 and 0.88703. Again, between 0.89258 and 0.88703. All right, so for me, I might just be watching out for price to come up into the 50% of this zone before I get to take my sales of USD CHF. All right, so nothing too difficult. You can see that currently we are still fairly bearish. All right, so I'm just watching out for where we can get a re-entry for that bearish continuation to happen. So that's what I'm watching out for on USD CHF. Next up, let's look at AUD USD. Then we'll look at Euro USD. All right, so for AUD USD, I think I might have to go as far up as the daily time frame for this. Yes. All right, so for AUD USD, I am still watching out for AUD USD to be bearish. All right. Now this might sound well, it's not complicated really. All right, so I'm expecting price to come as far down as this. All right, so sweep liquidity from this low around 0.64665 come down into this zone. All right, my zone is quite large again. These are analysis that we do based off of the daily and the 4-hour time frame. All right, so now the reason why I'm choosing this other block specifically is because of the fact that we have this previous inducement, all right, around here. So I'm watching out for price to sweep that inducement, get down to the other block, and then we get to use that other block as our demand zone, and then we get to see our buys happen from there. All right, so quite simple, really. That demand zone is between 0.64365 and 0.63615. I'll come again, 0.64365 and 0.63615. All right, that is where I'm watching out for buys to happen off of AUD USD. Now, I just wanted to say this. All right, for trades like this that I've not gone into possibly our swing zones, as I would like to call them for now. All right, by all means, for example, while watching out for a sell to buy, it would make sense for you to just wait for the sell. If by all means you see a re-entry, all right, or you see lower time frame entry for this sell, please by all means do not waste such opportunities. All right, do not waste such opportunities to make money in the market. All right, so if you see any lower time frame confirmations for any of these trades, all right, maybe before you get to our our outlook zone or our point of interest, all right, or our demand zone or supply zone, whatever the case would be. If you see any entry on the lower time frame, please do well to take them and not to waste such opportunities. All right, so next up, let's look at Euro USD. I think you can see that Euro USD is looking very, very funny in its own way. So let me just go down to the daily time frame. So sorry, to the 4-hour time frame to explain what I'm seeing currently. All right, so currently we've seen price break. All right, so at this point in time, you realize that we got a lot of ranging movements, meaning that there was not enough, or there was not as much, volume, all right, and this in this particular commodity around this time. All right, so we got to see price range finally break. All right, then we see somewhat of a retest of that area. All right. I'm sorry. Give me a minute, please. So somewhat of a retest of that area. All right. So currently, I think we should still be able to watch out for price to continue bearish. All right. So preferably if at all, we get to price maybe decide to clear liquidity from this little FBG left behind here, then possibly we can use this as a more certain entry. All right. But I think from my experience, price usually likes whining people. So we might not actually get to price push as far up as that. All right. So all the same. So this is basically what I'm watching out for. All right. So let me just give this as a better explanation. If I get to see price come as far as 1.08970 and 1.08864, that's my current supply zone. All right. So if I get to see price get as far back or as far up rather as then I'll be taking up my sells on Euro USD. Alternatively, I think we might not get to see price get that far. All right. That would mean that this point will have become our pivot. All right. This zone would have become our pivot. Let me just mark it out. Let me use this. All right, this zone would have become our pivot. All right, meaning we've had support, break, resistance, and then we get to see price, just drop. All right, so if I don't get to see price, pull up as far back as then this is what I'll be expecting to happen on Euro USD. So that sell on Euro USD. I hope that is clear. All right, so for the sake of this video, we'll just do 2 more commodities and we will be calling it a session. All right, so this is Euro AUD. All right, I'll do Euro AUD, then I'll do Audnzd. All right, so for Euro AUD, now this again is something I believe to be one of the more fragile trades that we're watching out for. All right, yes, that's just the best thing to call it, fragile. All right, so I've seen some level of rejection from the 4-hour time frame. All right, on this particular common currency pair. All right, for exactly from even our 50% point. All right, so I think it is safe for us to say we might be able to watch out for Euro AUD continuing bearish. All right, so I just want to see possibly another rejection, maybe something towards this end. Now this is just now I'm on the 4-hour time frame. I'm not going to really go lower than that. All right, but something like this. All right, so I just want to watch out for Euro AUD to continue bearish. All right, so possibly when price or when market opens, that we might just get to see price move towards the downside exactly from where it is on Euro AUD. All right, so that being said, if you're able to just see lower time frame entries or on this commodity, by all means, I think it is safe enough to say you can enter or you should take those trades. All right, so my bias on Euro AUD overall is just bearish. All right, so I'm just giving us that. Currently this zone is between 1.66833 and 1.65955. All right, so in case you get to see that zone breaking or being broken rather, then definitely that bias will be invalidated and reversed. All right, so I just want to watch out for that to happen. Now, again, as one of the things that I always look out for is I'm watching out for where liquidity actually is. All right, on the chart, and you can see here we have a very large sum of fair value gaps left behind here. All right, so that tells me that there's every possibility for us to see price trying to recover those fair value gaps. All right, you can see we have some here, we have a little bit here, we have a very large one right here. All right, so I just want to watch out for price to fall as far down as that. All right, so that's why I'm watching out for on Euro AUD. And for the sake of this video, the last one we'll be looking at together is Audnzd. Now you see when they tell you that markets go whine you normal, but no panic. This was all right. That's markets go whine you for me during the course of last week. Got to see multiple reactions from our supply zone around 1.11555 and 1.11247. And currently, I think we should still be watching out for Audnzd to be bearish. All right, so preferably for me, I want to watch out for Audnzd to still work out from this zone and drop as far down as 1.10171. All right, so overall, I'm just watching out for Audnzd to be bearish in the course of the week. All right, so yes, I hope that's clear. I feel like that was just something that I didn't need to take too much time explaining. All right, so thank you very much for joining us for today's video. Please do also like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Remember, do your best to be a predictive. Is it predictive? I've already forgotten this. No, this was supposed to be like the motivation. Don't mind me. All right, but just do your best to. All right, do your best to be a reactive trader, not a predictive trader. Remember. All right, do your best to be a reactive trader, not a predictive trader. Reason being that it will be better for you to take trades after you've seen enough confirmations than for you to expect price to just move from wherever you have set up your zones. All right, so price is not a respecter of your maybe lines necessarily. All right, but all the same, what we try to do is to react. All right, so we watch out for what price is currently doing on a specific commodity, and then we follow what price is doing. All right, that is what analysis truly is. All right, so again, practice good risk management. All right, NFP is coming this week, so we might get to see some funds, getting into the market, and then we get to see possibly higher volatilities and higher volume, on a lot of commodity or currency pairs or commodities. All right, so thank you very much for joining us for today's video, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Have a very, very profitable week ahead, guys. Bye.